Hello, my name is Brian Quezerque. I am the bass instructor at the Armstrong Summer Jazz Camp. I've been on staff since 2004, and I've been a part of the camp since the beginning in 1995. Okay, when the camp started in 1995, I was actually a freshman in college. I graduated from high school in 1994. I was a late bloomer. I attended NOCA for only 1 year, and prior to that, I was at the Heritage School of Music under the direction of our camp director, Mr. Kid Jordan. So when the jazz camp started, I was very familiar with most of the staff, having studied with Elton Heron on bass, who was the first camp bass teacher, Mr. Clyde Kerr, Kid Jordan, Jonathan Bloom, Kent Jordan. So it feels like a family. I've been involved with these guys since I was like a junior in high school, because that's around the time I started playing the bass. Well, I missed a couple of years of camp because I started getting too old. All my gray hair started to show. So, and I was doing some road work. I was playing with the Wild Magnolias and playing professionally. And I received a phone call that perhaps I can come and join the staff once Mr. Elton Heron exited, and I think Chris Severin did a year after that, and I gladly jumped on board because it's a wonderful family. I feel like I'm part of a family. I'm hoping that the camp will still be around when my son is old enough to attend. My wife and I are both wishing that he can attend the camp. It's a wonderful camp where kids can learn from seasoned musicians / teachers, because you have a lot of great musicians who don't necessarily know how to teach, but you have people who are great musicians and great teachers. They know how to pass on their knowledge and experience to other kids. Everyone doesn't have that gift. So that's what makes this camp so unique. And to be asked to be part of this is a beautiful thing for me, because I still feel like a student in those guys' presence. Although they treat me like a peer and a coworker, or whatever you want to call it, but I still feel like I'm their student when I'm around them, because they know so much and they still continue to give. I just had a trombone lesson with Mr. Chatters, so it's a family kind of environment. Jazz camp is very important to the city of New Orleans, simply because uh, it keeps the musical heritage going, but with a sense of integrity, where it's not, the teachers here try to teach the students the legacy of this music, the history of this music, and try to continue on this century with the music, but like I said, with some integrity, with them really having sound fundamentals together, and just being able to produce the right sound on their instruments, and being able to read music, and being able to know the different styles of this music that we call jazz, but to also to try to give them enough instruction and inspiration to try to push the music forward. Not to just know the history, but to also, in a sense, continue what's already been given to them through this cultural legacy here in New Orleans, by this being the birthplace of jazz. We're not teaching the kids, okay, just to learn a bunch of tunes that people have done 1,000 years over, but to really show them and to inspire the creative energy that's already in them, to try to just bring it out of them. And I think it helps the city of New Orleans, because we're the birthplace of jazz, and tourists come here to hear the music, but when people come, maybe they'll start hearing some revolutionary ideas and new ideas in music, and that's about it. I think it's a good thing, because Pops was called the ambassador of this music, and he was one of the main people who was responsible for making this music recognized by the world community. And he's the most famous jazz musician to come out of this city. So I think it's a very fitting title. And when you think about New Orleans music, you mainly think about the trumpet sometimes, I guess. But he's one of the ones responsible, I guess, for putting attention on this music that would have otherwise probably been stuck here or just in this country. This is the birthplace of jazz, and he was one of the first cats. Well, as far as females being inspired, there's a great bassist on the scene right now by the name of Esperanza Spalding. If you ask the two female students that we have here at camp currently, they'll tell you that their favorite bass player is Esperanza Spalding. So it makes females look at that instrument and say, hey, this is not reserved for just males. Both males and females can play this instrument. In fact, our great vocal teacher here at the camp is an ex-bass player, and I heard she was a wonderful bassist. I myself don't play too much upright bass. I had to major on the upright bass in college, mainly with classical music. But I did have the opportunity here at camp to study with Rufus Reed and Reggie Workman, both, and William Parker. So I had some great experiences with the upright bass here at the Armstrong camp. The bass is very important, and because we're the foundation of the group. We're the bottom. And it shouldn't be reserved for just a male. And we're the minority in terms of there's not a big pool to choose from. So it's great to have people just coming aboard and learning to play the bass, because we don't, a lot of people pick up on other instruments instead of the bass, probably because it's so cumbersome or whatever. I really don't know. A lot of people play the bass guitar, but they go and play funk, and even in church. I play in church and I play in various bands, but I love this music that we call jazz. And I'm gonna do a plug for myself. You can check out my CD, Reflections, that I just recorded. And we have some faculty members on my CD, like Clyde Kerr and Kent Jordan, but enough of that. But the bass is very important, and I'm hoping that through the years, will inspire more kids to pick up on the instrument. This year we have about 5 students in my class, which is probably a first, to have so many kids on this instrument, and all of them are really promising, young, talented musicians. So I'm hoping that I can offer them something that they can continue to grow. As I said earlier, this is a wonderful camp. I would like to thank you, Ms. Jackie Harris, for making this possible for everyone. The camp reaches out to students from around the world, and I really, really admire how you look out for musicians and this art form of jazz. To have someone who really doesn't play this music, to have such of a deep appreciation for this music, to try to keep the legacy going, and the way that you treat musicians. A lot of times people treat musicians like a pimp game, like I just want to do whatever I can do off of your talents to make myself some money. But I recognize your true passion for this music and the musicians who play it, and your concern for making sure that the generations to come can continue to develop the music. And like I say, I really appreciate that, being a musician, and and to be a part of something like this is just wonderful for me.